We are doing a team building series. Okay, it's 5 seminars. This is the 3rd seminar of structuring the successful team. A good overview of all the key components and foundations of having a good team. So moving forward, or actually the full program looks like this. So we have already had week 1, which is team structuring. We went over the culture, mission statement, as well as the way teams are structured. Things like what should you offer in terms of commission, what sort of services, etc. So how do you structure and develop a general overview team concept and culture within your team? And whether or not what does it take to build that culture? And what does it take to build a successful team? Week 2 was communication systems, making sure that the foundational systems in place so that all team members are communicated daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly through proper channels, such as using a cloud-based system, Google Cloud. They used to call it G Suite, but it's all the apps that Google gives you, which we provide as a Century 21 system. So having those systems in place keeps everybody on the same page. And of course, having those weekly meetings are crucial. And we'll be always talking about that even in today's seminar. Today's seminar is on the marketing and profit centers, as well as a CRM that you're going to implement within the team. Obviously, your team is going to need, if you're developing a team or on a team, your team needs to have leads coming in consistently. So it's certain business systems and part of your business plan as a team is going to have certain components, and we're going to talk about those components, the most popular ones, and then some of the other ones that you can implement, so that you always have a steady flow of opportunities for all team members. Week 4 and 5 are buyer and seller journeys. Every single client customer that you work with should go through the same or a consistent journey of services that you provide them. That will keep them coming back happy, referral-based business. And we have a lot of tools that we implement throughout the company and Century 21 as well. So what does a complete seller journey look like, and what does a complete buyer journey look like? Getting into today's, which is team marketing. What does your business plan look like from a marketing perspective? The first thing we always look at when we talk about business is, where does your business come from? And really it comes from 2 different groups, right? You've got your people that you know and the people that you don't know. Our business plans that we have with the company, and we'll be doing business planning in January, is really developed into 3 sections, which is sphere of influence, paid advertising, and prospecting. But it can be even further broke down, as we see, as to people we know and people we don't know, right? So in the team, we're going to break that down today and look at it. And the first one is obviously focusing on the sphere of influence, which is the people we know. Every team member knows a certain amount of people, and they know people that are going to be buying and selling. So referrals and repeat business. So you must have everyone on the team on the same page with this. We have certain things that I'm going to suggest you put in place if you have a team, and we'll go through them. Having everyone on the same CRM. Now, CRMs are not all created equal. We could have a whole seminar, and then there's a lot of pieces to today's seminar that could be broken out into sub-seminars, which we actually have already on our YouTube channel. And CRM is one of them, a client retention management system. And to retain your people as clients, you must stay in touch, you must be organized, you must have certain systems in place. And I love automation, right? I love 2 things. One is building relationships, which is a lot of face-to-face and voice over the phone, or reminding people by email. But the automated systems that are in place will help support that. So having everybody on a CRM or 5 CRMs, I used to have about 3 or 4 different CRMs working for me for different reasons, because not all CRMs are created equal. Okay, you must focus on what actions every single week. So going back to the weekly meeting, what are they doing? What are your team members doing within the CRM, within the automation? Do they have addresses, etc., with regards to their sphere of influence? So again, going to sphere of influence, we've done many seminars on that, and they're available at your disposal as well, on how to create a good sphere of influence. If you don't know your number, okay, then you don't have a good CRM, and your number is the contact addresses, and each team member has addresses for. So If I was to ask you what your number, and your number is 67, you have 67 people on a CRM system that are getting a drip campaign, which is by email. They're getting a newsletter, and I'm going to go through all these: newsletter, calendar, pop buys. These people, 67 of them, have addresses, so we're able to do marketing to them. Okay, and if you take an example of 100, for example, we want a 15 to 20% return on that business. And if you're not getting it, you're not doing enough. So if you have 100 people, you should do 15 deals minimum. Okay, 15 deals on average at 15,000 a deal is 150,000 minimum potential income. So if you can get everybody on your team organized, CRM, newsletters, pop buys, note cards, all the things we're going to go over, then the potential income of each team member is 150,000. Depending on your split, you'll find out your profitability just from that sphere. Okay, so the return on relationships is 100, or it's 1,000 times. So get your team 100% focused on the most profitable section of the business, which is the sphere of influence. Most profitable by far. The only money that you're really going to spend is some pop buys, some note cards, your newsletter. You may spend about $3,000 on $150,000 return, which is crazy return on investment. Okay. And that is not, we call it return on relationships. So remember, in order to get everybody up on this, you're going to have weekly meetings every single week. What's your number? Show me your addresses. Show me you're on the system for newsletters. Show me the note cards. Show me all that sort of stuff. Every time I do a business plan with an agent yearly, we come back and we look at what they did. And most of the time, they're at least doubling their business. Okay. And when they haven't, it's because they haven't followed through on everything. Right. I remember once, newsletters. So we get them on the newsletter program and all the rest of it. And at the end of the year, we found out that they thought the newsletter program was good enough by email. Well, it wasn't. So they did 30% effectiveness. If you're sending a print newsletter, it's much more effective. So that's marketing to the people that you know. Talking more about the sphere of influence in your business plan, here are some examples of what a business plan would look like. Okay, when I ran my team, this was done. Now I'm gonna tell you which ones were done 100% and which ones were done 20%. Okay, so print newsletter every month, 100%. Everyone on the team every single month, minimum 100 people per person, and our agents on our team were over 100,000 every year consistently. Special occasions, drip on the CRM, absolutely. So we used to have online office. Now we have Remarketer. Remarketer does a special occasion nurturing within the contact section of the CRM. That is being done 100% of the time. October pop buy, 100% of the time. We did pumpkins every year, and that was a drop by, a pop by, and give a pumpkin. Calendar in November, every single year, 100%. I'm 4 for 4 so far. Okay. Yearly holiday event in December, another 100% every year. We had we got a gifts for the kids. We did movie at the movie theater. We did, sometimes there was even, we would do more than one. We would do skating, tobogganing. These are all different events that we would used to have, or I used to have with the team that I had. And that was 100% of the time we do a December event. We'd also do a summer event, but I'm getting to that. So spring pop by, seeds for the garden, 100% of the time we did this. Not seeds, we did different things. We did Easter chocolate bunnies, different things in the spring. Okay. Summer barbecue appreciation. We didn't do barbecue, but I did things, other summer events. And there's tons of them. And this is not remember, this isn't farming, right? This is not an event that you're going to host for your area or anything. This is an event for customer appreciation. So things such as, yes, barbecue in the park, movie in the park. There's lots of ideas out there. So a summer event's great. 5 note cards a week. This is where I did not do 5 note cards. At the end, I did. I was 10 years into the business at that point in time, the Brian Buffini course. I'm a D personality. It's hard to sit me down and do note cards, and I'm not great with handwriting, my chicken scratch, right? So I never got 100% of the note cards. I did do them. I can show you some of them because around my office, I have happy birthday to your house, because it was a house anniversary, happy birthday. I did birthday cards, and I had thank you cards that I got from Color Tech Designs, and it just had a Century 21 on it. So I did do them, but 5 a week, that was starting to fail me. Call 1/10 of your sphere every single week. Again, something that we really strive for, hard when it got busy, but tried our best. And so really only 2 of those was, 20, 30% done. The rest of them 100% done. And on the team, our sphere of influence return on investment was in the 20s. Sometimes 22, 28, we get lots of referrals. Anything over 20 is extraordinary. Okay, so extraordinary business, 100 people doing over 20 deals, obviously is great return on your sphere of influence. Okay, if you don't have 100 people, right, you just 15% of whatever number you have. And if you need to build bigger and better relationships, we're going to get to that. The CRM, now I've brought up a Remarketer as an example, and I've also brought up a couple screens here to show you the advanced version of Remarketer. Okay, so the advanced version of Remarketer is getting into lead generation and assigning leads. This happens to be a team version of Remarketer. Okay, so it's actually office or team version, which means you can have more than one person on this version of Remarketer. And with our version, as you can see over on the left-hand side, yours won't have affiliates. Okay, affiliates are people on your team. So your affiliates are, you can actually go into their CRM and they can help them with it, help them build it. So it allows you to impersonate and help them with their leads. Down below, you also have a lead management tool. And the lead management tool allows you to turn on the nurturing section. I'm going to show you it on the next slide. That allows market snapshots as well as anything that comes up in the market daily that will be sent out to them, similar to the what Treb does for you, but it's more intuitive because one, it's on your system, right? So it actually tracks and monitors what they view and how often, and it gets scores them. It does notes, tasks, all the good stuff with a good CRM. Okay, I'm just going to go to the next screen and show you what that looks like. The nurturing control doesn't just have newsletters, occasional greetings. Okay, it has the market reports. It's got buyer new listings alerts, seller new listing alerts, and then the daily listing alert. If you turn it on, then buyer and seller new listings will come up daily. It also gives you the email log. So if stuff was opened, if stuff was clicked, etc. So having a CRM, now we provide your CRM for you. We provide you with a website. It can be a team site. And we have Debbie who helps everyone if they have any questions about getting, a team site get up and going, or any of the systems that's with Remarketer. Also, the updated down, there's a few different updates or upgrades that you can make. You can do an individual upgrade to this type of nurturing model. It's $80, and then it's regularly $150, but because we have the current version we have and a relationship with them, it's half that price. So it's 80 instead of 150. And then there is a team model site, which is a monthly fee. And then you'd have team members underneath that. So you can contact them for pricing on that as well. So the people that you don't know, let's get into some of the, I'd say 80% of our agents want to know more about profit centers for people that you don't know. And the unfortunate part is when we talk to those agents and they're saying, I need leads, I need leads, I need leads. They say, well, what's your number? Well, what do you mean? Well, are you sending newsletters, pop buys, note cards, all that good stuff with your sphere? No, I'm not. I said, well, take care of that 85% first. If you jump into the people that you don't know, you're not set up, you're not sending note cards, you're not dropping by and seeing them, you've got no systems set up. So even the business and the people that you meet, those relationships are going to falter. You need to have that key component foundationally first before you start looking into profit centers for people that you don't know. And if that other stuff's not done, back up, get it done, and then we can move on to the people that you don't know, right? But I don't know what it is. People want to go out and start making new relationships without taking care of their current ones. So please don't make that mistake. And if you're running a team, don't let your team members make that mistake. There are certain components to a team that must be in place. If you're a good team manager, a good team leader, you make sure that that's organized, that they're doing all that great stuff first, because you're helping them. That's one of the things. That's actually the number one reason why an agent is on your team. It's not for leads. They think it's for leads. It's not. It's so that you have a good business. It's not, you want to do business. You want to make money. Leads aren't making you money. Your business foundationally is making you money. The systems, the service, the buyer seller journey, everything that we're going to talk about in these seminars is the reason why people join your team. You're organized. And by the way, if you're not on a team or you're not going to join a team, this is what your business should look like as a realtor. And you don't need to be on a team to know this. We have great support systems with our management team in order to put these things in place and help you with it. Let us mentor you. That's okay. But most people want to, let's say most people, most agents, they're hungry for leads. So we're going to talk about that because that's some of the things that we want, obviously, to provide in a team environment to the agents underneath our team. So they're going to need to focus on 2 additional profit centers is what I say, right? So you have 3. One's your sphere of influence first. That's the first thing put in place. The second thing can be any one of these, right? Or anything else that you come up with. Here's some of the top ones. Open houses, obviously, right? I know it seems strange, but every weekend your agents should be doing open houses because you're in front of people that want to buy houses and it's face to face. Other than door knocking, which is you're going to have to find somebody out of the 100 doors you knock to find the one that's looking to buy, right? Or host an open house, you get 9 people through. Those 9 people are obviously interested in real estate. So open house is a big one. Door knocking, that's prospecting, getting a cold calling or door knocking. Essentially, that's the stuff that agents don't want to do. And if you're good at it and you like it, then that is a great opportunity. Door knocking and cold calling is as good as any online lead. Okay, it's just people don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. They'd rather have an agent or a stranger trying to call them, which is okay. But if you don't want to spend any money, door knocking and cold calling is a great way to get in front of somebody today that might be looking to sell or buy properties. Number 4, groups, associations, and networking. People forget about this. This is the funnest part of the business, right? For those of you that don't want to go door knocking or cold calling, maybe choose to join 2 different groups or associations or charitable foundational stuff and get involved, because when you give back, people want to give back to you. Law of reciprocation. You do something nice for somebody wants to do something nice for you. So you're going to remind them, yeah, I'm in real estate, right? And you're going to put them on all that great sphere of influence stuff, sending them newsletters and contacting and calling and pop-bys and all the good stuff. And it'll work, right? The first time somebody hears, oh, I'm looking to sell my house, oh, you got to use Harry, right? Give Harry a call. And that's what's going to happen. So group association networking, online lead generation, of course, the buzz topic of the day. Everybody thinks that leads come from online these days. That's not true. It just opens the door for a conversation that turns into a relationship that's nurtured and turned into business. Okay. You can do that anywhere. Okay. But we know people want to do online lead gen, and in a team business, it's actually quite effective. And I'll tell you, we're going to get into the reasons why it's very effective for your team business. Number 6 is farming. Farming is probably the number one, 100%, it's the number one reason why there are mega teams out there. Somebody on that team, whether it be the manager of the team, the owner of the team, somebody realized at some point in time, if you take $10, you can make 100. Okay. And how do you do that? Get in front of as many people, become popular. It was called the mayor program at one point. I took a course, the mayor program. If you're going to run for mayor in your local area, what would you do? You get out there, you talk to people, you start sending flyers, you start putting signs on lawns, you start to become believable, meaning the people believe in what you say, right? So you're an influencer, okay, in the marketplace in that area. And that's what farming is. You got to be an influencer in the area. You've got to have your signs up. You've got to be sending good quality content. You got to get on video, you got to get on Facebook, you got to develop all these groups. Farming is a whole niche in itself. But as soon as you spend, and I'm going to say in a farm area of 800 to 1,000 homes, you're going to spend 6,000, 7,000 a year. Okay, that's 6,000, 6,000 or 7,000 a year is going to turn into 60, 70,000 a year or higher. It's a 10 times return. So print newsletters, print farming newsletters, so print advertising, really. So print advertising, it's not dead. It's definitely down the list of what it used to be. Everybody used to be in the local paper, and who's the popular agent has the big spread on the back front. So it's changed and it's gone online, but it's not dead. So there are still some good print ads in certain publications, especially in community newspapers, et cetera, that you can get into, Snap magazine, et cetera. You just have to get creative with print advertising. Okay. Weekly meetings are utilized to support these activities. It should be included in the team members' business plan. So pick the two, do it really well. That's in their business plan. You meet with them daily, ask what you're doing in that area. You're always supporting what the agents on your team are doing in order to generate business. And you may have a model there that's very popular with teams, such as farming. I can get into is basically you're going to pay for their farming, right? So you're going to pay for an area because you know the returns there on the investment. You're going to make sure your name's the #1 name on that advertisement. So people are calling you. You'll go on the listing appointment and then hand over the listing for the agent, if you have a listing agent, in order to maintain as well as free up your time as a team leader. Moving on to the people you don't know, we're going to talk about we're going to talk about 4 main areas, which is door knocking, open houses, farming, and seminars. I've just gone over them a little bit. It's a good balance. This is sort of just a slide to balance between sphere of influence, and which is your return on relationships over the return on investment. Obviously, the most profitable return on relationships. Obviously, the most scalable is return on investment, because you can scale investment. You only have a certain amount of time to get in front of a certain amount of people. So we are going to focus on these areas right now and just give you an idea of how a team model would look for them. First of all is open houses, right? Putting those open houses every single weekend. If you don't have listings, you're probably not in a position you should be a team, but the reality is you can borrow listings. We have an open house seminar we did years back, Heritage Coaching Academy. It is on our YouTube channel. One of the things, actually, this is a very good video Pam does, and Pam does seminars all the time on open houses, but we taped her this time, and nobody does them better. It was one of her #1 sources when she was selling, and she does a great job. We've had people come out of that course and call me. I remember, it was an agent that I got into the business. Actually, there was a client of mine that got into real estate. Anyway, she calls me her first year in business, took the open house course, called me and said, Aaron, I did exactly what Pam said on the weekend. I gave a $5 TIM card to the house on the corner that I put the sign up. And at the end of the open house, they invited me over for a market evaluation. I listed the property 2 weeks later and sold it. So it was just an example of different little tips and tricks on how to do open houses. But you're generating this business. Every time we had a weekly meeting with our team, the question was, who's doing open houses this weekend? On what listings? Are you going out and door knocking ahead of time? Do you have a flyer? Are you inviting people? You got the feature sheets. Like, we go through and make sure that's all set up for the weekend, because it was such a lucrative. One of our team members, who's still selling with the Heritage Group, best converter on our open houses. Almost like every open house you convert and sell a property. Probably only had to do 7 open houses a year and he sells 7 properties. That's how much people just gravitated to, I guess, the information that he was providing. Another video that I want you to watch is farming. Okay. And the reason why I've put these videos up on the screen is because obviously I don't have time to go into every single section of these sources of income, because they're an hour long. All the tips on what to do with farming and how to do it effectively, as an example. So I did the Road to Grand Centurion. So this was for the agents that had already been at an award-winning level of 100,000 or more. But how do you get to a Grand Centurion? How do you get to the point where you're making 800,000 or more? That's Grand Centurion. And in order to do that, sometimes the relationship-based business just isn't enough. You need to start scaling different things, such as your geographical farming. And this is a great example of how to get 10 times on your investment. Essentially, those 1,000 homes that get you 7 what would I say? So it was 1,000 homes, which was probably around 7,000 a year in terms of cost, give you 70,000 in terms of income. So that's 5 deals, let's say. All you have to do is double it next year, you get 10 deals. Double that, you get 20 deals. Double that, you get 40 deals, and so on. And the mega teams out there, you know them because they're popular. This is what they do. They buy their business. And all it is an amount of money that they spend towards farming. Some of them do it really well. Other of them just throw money at it, right? And it's still effective. Okay, but you can't give up on farming, and you can't test it. I already know when I sit down with an agent that's looking to do farming, they'll use terms like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to give that a try." Yeah, not going to work. You might as well not spend your money. Talk them out of it, right? Well, why is that? Because you said you're going to try it. There is no trying farming. Okay, farming is a 10-year plan or more. However long left you have left in the business, that's how long you should be farming. And you can't give up after the first year. That's the biggest mistake. You'll spend your $7,000 and you'll say, I didn't get any business. How many calls did you get? I got one call, but I didn't get it. Okay, keep going, right? Next year, 14,000, got 2 deals. How much did you make? 40,000. Good, you paid yourself for the next 4 years. Keep going, right? Next year, you do 4 deals. Now you're making, so you get the idea, and it just eventually ramps up. You should have 5% of the business in the area in farming, okay? On your team, you're going to do that with a team member. You're going to be in the marketing, you're paying for it, your lead, you're going to go on, you're going to do the listing presentation, but there is a great script that you're going to use, obviously, when you are with the seller. And that is that I'm not unlike a doctor. Doctor goes in to do a surgery. Obviously, you need all the people in the room doing their jobs in order to be successful. So just like that, I am going to be obviously overseeing. I'm doing all this, this, and this. And here's my team member that does this, this, and this. And this is why we're so successful, because one person can't do it all, right? So that's your dialogue with teams, and you hand that over. And of course, follow through on the great service with the seller journey, okay? Mega teams got this down pat, and they get lots of listings, as you know. Online leads. Let's go with the buzzword, online leads. Everybody wants online leads. Well, we know that online lead generation can, it's like candy, right? Everybody wants it. It's great to get them. You feel good about talking to people on the phone, but let me go through the reason why a team will do online lead generation. These are the things that you have to manage this expectation. So here's some reasons. One, you're satisfying agents on your team with leads. Agents joined your team because they think that that's what they need. That's not what they need, right? They need to have a good business plan, sphere of influence, following up, CRM, all the great stuff. Okay, they don't need the leads. They already have leads. You just have to teach them how to use it, but they want them. So satisfy them, spend some money, give them some leads, and let's see how they do. Practice conversion skills. It does allow them to practice, right? So getting more confidence, teaching helps teach them how to convert business, right? And so it builds that confidence. There is income potential there. Okay, as soon as somebody does follow through, finally follow up, they get 8 times with one person. Finally the person says, yeah, I'll go see that property with you. They go see, they buy the business or get the business. So maybe 2-3 deals are done through online leads for the year. But that adds up, and it does have some income potential to it. Okay, and there are some different programs out there. I'm going to talk about them in a minute, but you got to be mindful of the quality of the online lead. It's not great, right? And you're going to have to tell your agents it's not great, and you're going to be frustrated, and you're going to say, oh, they all crap, because they're most of them, right? So you got to manage the expectations. You got to say, listen, in order for onlines to work, the numbers have to work. 100 leads, 8 times per lead on average to contact, which means 800 points of contact to that lead. A 1% conversion rate is good in York Region. So 1% is 1 deal out of 100, which is 800 contacts for 1 deal. Okay, that's a lot. You make 800 cold calls tomorrow, you probably get 1 deal. So it's about the same conversion as a cold call. But remember, these are people calling you, and people on the team like that, right? I'd say bring in some experts and coaches to help. Switch up the meetings you have weekly. Bring in a special speaker, spend some money. It's okay to hire somebody, a coach, a trainer that does online leads to help practice those scripts with your people. Many teams use a bait and switch mentality, and it is. I'll tell you right now, it's bait and switch. I'll tell you who to call. Call me afterwards. I'll tell you who called. You just came back from a mega team. And she said, yeah, they brought me over. They stopped me in front of a phone, and I just made phone calls all day to these leads. They're all crap. They're this, that, and whatever. So it's just, and I might as well be doing it for myself, because I'm giving up 50% of the time of the money. So teams aren't for everyone, remember, but a good team, okay, will bring them on, give them leads, help them build confidence, practice conversion skills, and then get their foundational stuff going. The foundational stuff, the events and all that sort of stuff, and they'll start to realize that that's where the business comes from. Okay. And that's why it's a bait and switch. Bait them, like, so you say, join our team, we'll give you leads. They join the team and say, okay, great. But to be part of our team, you must have a newsletter. You must have addresses for all your clients. You must do pop buys, note cards, and all the rest of it. And all of a sudden they start doing business. Well, it's because of the leads. The leads were a bait and switch. Okay. So I'm not even saying it's a bad thing, right? But that's what's happening. Prospecting sphere events with higher return on your time, as well as profitability. Right? It doesn't cost anything, obviously, to generate business from the people you know. Moving on with online leads, because again, they can be done well. Here are some systems that you may want to pay for. These are pay, you get the lead. Bottom line, you don't need to have any technical skill. They'll probably give you a CRM, most of them. We'll give you a CRM in order to nurture. Remember, I said you have different CRMs for different things. It could be a lead gen CRM. Okay. Here's some of the top ones: bold leads, success leads, probably the two top in terms of the last 10 years. Many of our agents have tried those. Market leader, that was something I used back 10 years ago when I was doing it. Street text is fairly new, but it's effective. Another lead gen system for Facebook. Boomtown, very expensive. Commissions Inc., very expensive. They'll be $2,000 a month just for the system, not for the leads. And then you spend leads on top of that. We spent $75,000 with Commissions Inc. 1 year. We got some leads, but might as well picked up the phone. There weren't great leads, right? And they're all like this, right? It's just they're expensive. Back at You is a system that we provide to you at no cost. If you want to boost posts or put up home evaluation links, I think the last slide was an example of the home evaluation from Back at You. They're specifically real estate. I like Back at You Media. It's a very good one to try to get started and just generate some leads. Craig Proctor system. I was talking to Peter earlier. I've been working with Craig over the last couple of months on a new training system, along with some other coaches and stuff like that in the business. And Craig might be coming in to do some stuff with us next year. He's just the king of lead gen, right? So again, it's not your 85% of your business. It's not the reason why you're going to be successful in real estate. But if you want to make $1 million or $1 million plus or 20 million a year, in some cases, this is what some people are making down south. With his system, there are reasons why people call with his system. So good example is the one on the right, top 9 reasons why you lose a listing. That could be in a specific market. Currently, that wouldn't be an ad I would put up because nobody's losing listings these days. I would say top 10 reasons why you'll lose 200,000 on your next home sale, because if you don't do the proper hold off offers, et cetera, and have a good agent, your top 9 reasons, I can come up with them today. So if you want that call me, I'll give you top reasons why to use me as an agent or any, but you do ads like this. It gets people wanting something from you instead of you wanting something from them. And that's what Craig is very, very good at. And he's got and he's not cheap, but, in terms of his system, it's a 10,000 a year just to get it. Right. So it's about $1,000 a month. It's actually, I'd buy that over Commissions Inc. any day, but anyway, so that's an example of some of the popular online lead systems. Do it yourself. There are do it yourself. I used to always do my leads myself, right? Whether that be through landing pages with Remarketer's lead generation program, which is lead builders. They have the landing page builders, link builders within their system in order to put on Facebook and Google. Spotlight marketing system is a good lead generator. I've been using that for years. I helped develop that program with the guys from Homania. And that's on your listing. If you have a listing, listings are gold for leads, right? You just have to maximize that. So by putting a boost post on Facebook on your Spotlight landing page and put that on Facebook, that'll generate a ton of business, not just for your client, and they'll see how many people come through your site because they've got a nice back end system that shows you. So that satisfies them that you're doubling their amount of eyeballs and showings, and which in the end offers 5 offers instead of 2 offers is that 200,000 that I was talking about. That's how I prove somebody in a listing presentation to use me as a realtor, because of Spotlight. So Spotlight's a great lead generator. You just need to know what that dialogue looks like. You also need to put it on Facebook, right? Google I have used, and for certain ads, it's fine. It's good, right? And it will drive some traffic to your website, landing page, etc. To do the Facebook and Google ads, yes, you need to teach yourself how to use it. Say teach yourself. There are a lot of sources of. I've got a Facebook video, for example, that shows you how to boost posts, do a basic Facebook ad. So you can see that on our YouTube channel. So you can utilize that as well. There's lots of information out there on Facebook. Excuse me. The other thing Facebook does now, which didn't do back when I was selling, is it has its own landing pages. So those forced sign-ups are done within Facebook, which is very effective. So you can also do it yourself. So again, you're generating business for your team members, and it's going to do everything I said in the last slide. So there's a reason why lead gen is important for your team. Just manage your expectations and know that the good business that we've developed throughout this whole seminar system needs to all happen in order for everybody to be successful. And let's talk about seminars. I threw this one in there as I've really found these to be successful lately. People are joining these Google Meets. Everybody's so comfortable now joining a Zoom meeting, Google Meet meeting. This is something that one of our agents is doing. First time home buying seminar. We've been doing them for years, right? You have all the information, take them through a buying presentation, right? And you can have I've seen lots of good ones out there. I wouldn't just do first time home buying. I do investment, pre-construction, how to make the most out of your listing in the market that again, that landing page, how to make an extra 200,000 on your sale of your home seminar. There's a seminar in this case. Natalie was telling me, I mean, she's had an average of 10 to 13 people engaged on every seminar she does. And she's obviously helped people purchase properties through this. So it's been successful for her. I'm going to bring this up again because some of you may have not seen this yet. There is a team tracking application that I think is a genius app, and it's no cost, which is the best part about it. Chris Leader actually developed it. It's called Let's Track app. Okay. It's a real estate activity tracker. And I think it's actually the name of it is Agent Success app, as well as another name for it. So as you can see down at the below, some of the screenshots, it shows you how many people have signed. So it tracks people's productivity as well as their prospecting. You've developed your own goals to see how your goals, how you're obtaining the numbers that you're going to project for next year. Okay. And then I think on the next slide, I do go into some of the features of the team section of it. So under the accountability partner, your team members are going to add you as the team leader. So they're going to put in your email address. You will now be associated with that person as their team leader. And on your right-hand side, this is an example of somebody's prospecting they did last month for me, because I am helping coach an agent that I had download this app. And I said, you need a certain amount of points every month in order to create your goals or accomplish goals. So they did. They went on there, downloaded the app, started using it, and they have been consistently giving themselves points every day on the different things they did with their prospecting, with their sphere of influence, with their new business. And as you can see here, so on the 12th, this person did another prospecting activity. So it's something, so I'd ask them, what was it you did, right? December 10th, they did a pop by. 11th, they sent the newsletters. The meet referral source on the 4th, they sent newsletters to target. They met with a referral, added a prospect to the email campaign, added newsletters to target market, send the newsletters. So 100 or 200 newsletters went out December 1st. Mailing the postcards, meet with referrals. So they're giving themselves points. And this is a great opportunity weekly to sit down with people and say, what did you do last week? Well, here it is. It's all in the app, right? And then you can monitor at any time. So just as a recap for the marketing CRM profit sources, they come from two main sources: people you know, people you don't know, right? Simple as that. You as an agent that is a single agent, not on a team, we know the percentage of the business drive from sphere of influence, and that's 85%. Our business and our company is 85% sphere of influence. team models are going to differ a little bit. As soon as you get into teams, you're going to look at, and you could do it yourself too, but team models is like, we're going to focus on everyone's 85%, but I want to be 50-50. I actually want to be more like 20-28. I want 80% of the business derived from return on investment, because there's a higher ceiling to that, right? I know that I can scale that as well. So you may have a different team model based on where your business is coming from, but you should know where your business is coming from, and then see how, if you put some money towards something next year, what's your return, right? So a good CRM, maybe more than one. You may have more than one CRM. When I was selling, I had a few. I had one for my sphere of influence. I had one for specifically newsletters, one for lead generation. It was separate. And then I had one on my phone for prospecting. Anyway, so different CRMs for different things. A scalable return on investment can be effective advertising to become a mega agent. I've brought up that already. Team foundations are built on good team management and an effective business plan. So those are the things that we're focused on in the first 3 sessions, is the foundational culture and communication systems that help you manage the team and develop good business plans with each member. And then they execute and you hold them accountable. That's teams, okay? Focus everyone on the team that to build their database, get organized. It's their number one profit center. I'll say that over and over again. That's the foundational stuff you got to do. And then those 2 additional profit centers must be created with them. So it's not just, they're not just sitting around waiting for you to give them a lead. That's not going to work, right? So a good marketing plan provides a means of communication to enhance your business. Thank you so much for watching. If you like our video, please hit the like button, the subscribe, and even the little bell to get notifications, just so you can stay in touch and watch more of these great videos.